What's up, guys? Welcome to Guillotine Gaming. I'm Tyler, and we're going to play some Clock Tower for the Super Famicom. Now, this game was released on a number of platforms, but not in America, so we're playing on a repro cart. So, chill out, grab a beer, and enjoy my review of Clock Tower.
Clock Tower is a survival horror game developed by Human Entertainment for the Super Famicom in 1995. When Clock Tower was being developed, the 32-bit CD-based consoles had just hit the market. In an interview with Gaming Mo, Haifume Kono of Human said, "At the time, Human Entertainment only had pixel artists. There weren't many 3D artists at the time. In addition, because this wasn't a sports game, the company viewed it as a high risk. There was no way they were going to hire expensive specialists to make the game for the new 3D platforms. That's why we wound up working on the SFC." Later in the interview, he added, "I'd have to say my biggest inspiration was Alone in the Dark." The inspiration for Scissorman and his signature blades came from the demon in the movie The Burning, which scared him as a child. The game is loosely based on the film Creepers. Many of the details that happen in the movie are copied in the game, such as the main character being named Jennifer and being chased by the deformed son of the villain. Clock Tower was released on a variety of platforms: the Super Famicom, PlayStation, PC, and the Bandai Wonderswan. All these ports look the same with the exception of the Wonderswan. For those who don't know what the Wonderswan is, it's a Japanese handheld. Yeah, this is probably the worst way you can play this game. Clock Tower is unique among adventure games of the era in that it features a stalker pursuing the main character. This delays puzzle solving and requires the player to run in order to find objects or hiding places to escape from Scissorman. Speaking of gameplay, I feel like this is a great time to bring up the controls of the game. The Super Nintendo had a mouse. This is a point-and-click game. It seems like it would make perfect sense to utilize that peripheral, but they don't. And it really makes the game harder to control. Using a Super Nintendo mouse, although not perfect, it would give you a certain level of control that is just not there using the D-pad. That being said, the limited movement in the controls really incites a lot of fear into the player. It has you on the edge of your seat when the Scissorman's chasing Jennifer with his scissors, and you're like, "Hurry up, Jennifer! Fucking move!" What sets this survival horror game apart from others in the genre is that you have no weapons to defend yourself with. You can only run and hide, which is the key mechanic to this game. If you want to survive, you gotta run and outsmart Scissorman, because he will pop out of everywhere trying to kill you. There's a panic button you need to master, because this is literally the only way you'll beat this game and not die. You also need to keep track of Jennifer's panic meter. If it's red, you need to find a safe spot to calm down. Otherwise, you will not be able to take on Scissorman. Ah yes, the music, or lack thereof, can really make a difference in a horror game. Clock Tower goes rather easy on the music, as you'll be dealing with silence for parts of the game while you're exploring. During these times, all you hear are the sound effects of Jennifer walking and opening doors and various objects. However, whenever you encounter your tormentor, or a cutscene, the music will start playing. It has very stressful overtones designed to make you panic. The sound is what makes the game scary. All the sounds are on key and very real. You can hear the footsteps of your character, and if you're being chased by someone else. There isn't much music here, but when there is, it's scary. The locations in this game are spooky, and the room positions change with each playthrough, but the items overall generally stay in the same locations, which means walkthroughs are only half helpful. So what kind of gamer is this game for? Obviously this game is perfect for fans of survival horror, but for someone that's looking for a really good story, there's plenty to sink your teeth into here. All of your decisions and actions greatly impact the outcome of the game. Overall, there's 8 endings, and each ending you get is determined by how you played the game. I'm not going to spoil any of the endings, you can do that yourself simply by Googling it, but I will say the endings range from being amazing to being slightly disappointing. Clock Tower is one of the most unique experiences you can have on the Super Nintendo. If you're looking for a gory game, you won't find it here, but what you will find is a twisted and fucked up story that revolves around an orphan girl fighting for survival against a lunatic with a giant pair of scissors. I could tell you who Scissorman is, but I feel like knowing who he is going into the game is going to spoil some surprises. Clock Tower has gained a cult following due to its history as a great early survival horror game. As I stated before, Clock Tower has a bunch of different endings for you to go after, which add quite a bit of replayability. Of course, some of these can be achieved in rather a short amount of time compared to others. The graphics are actually rather impressive, especially for a Super Nintendo. The mansion looks incredibly real, and there are some scenes that are just fantastic. The characters also look real, but they don't have much of a face. But that's okay since there is a box on the bottom of the screen that shows the characters' faces. The developers did a very nice job here. With its recent gain in popularity, Clock Tower is getting a spiritual successor called Nightcry from the series creator, who directed the first 2 installments of the game. Capcom took over the series with 3 and gave us a spiritual successor called Haunting Ground. You would think a game like this would just disappear, but lately everything we used to like in the past are coming back. We have Yooka-Laylee, Bloodstained, Mighty No. 9, and for some reason Shaq Fu, even though literally no one was asking for it. But back to Nightcry. I was happy to hear that the game was successfully funded on Kickstarter to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Clock Tower. Here's what we know about the plot so far. The game is set aboard a luxurious cruise liner called the Oceanus. This cruise begins from Italy, making a stop at Southampton, England, then finally crossing into the Atlantic en route for the Caribbean islands. The heroine and her friends are college students from North America that had fieldwork training in the Aegean Islands, making their way back on this cruise liner. However, a group of cultists have snuck on board. As the ship sails across the deep blue ocean, a series of gruesome and mysterious murders begin to take place by a female creature called Scissor Walker. Soon, the ocean liner is crippled and adrift at sea, and has become an inescapable death trap for the passengers. All that sounds great, and I'm personally excited to play it.
Alright, thanks for checking out my video, and you know, we have a lot of great content on this channel, so if you could do me a favor and check out our other videos, that'd be awesome. And until next time, I'm Tyler, and thanks for watching Guillotine Gaming.